at the Dallas thing.
Oh, cool. Sherry's on. She said she'll definitely be talking to the team about Leslie's process. I love it. I think it's great. Okay, so it is June 5th, 2017. We are recording. I'm super excited to be on the call tonight and you know, hear from all of you guys really about how your week is too. So at the end of the call, I'm just going to hang out for a little bit because I think that I don't know, I just feel like we don't talk enough as a team sometimes. So if you guys have any questions about the whole process that I just went over with Leslie, I'm going to add it in the team page. If anybody has any other questions about it, because I kind of rushed through it, I'll hang out after the team call for a little bit too. So thank you guys for getting on the call. We have so many new people added to the team. I think every day there's like, you know, at least 20 plus people added to our team. We have serious rock stars. Wine Boss is like one of the fastest growing teams in the entire company. And Priscilla and I are super proud of you guys. It's just amazing to watch the progress and the process that you all do every day. So thank you for, you know, taking the time to be a part of the team, to give back on a regular basis. Like, I think that's really huge too, that you guys like, hey, I'm muted. Hold on a sec. Let me mute everybody again. There's always that one person that I can't mute. I don't understand why. Can you guys see whose number is loud? I can't. Is it gone? No?
It's still there, but everybody's muted. That's so weird.
Yeah, it is weird. I don't know why I'm getting feedback.
Danny, you got something going on over there at your house?
Yes, it was Danny. It's all his fault. Sorry, Danny. I was like, wait, everybody's muted. What is going on? All right, sorry, guys. So I'm just really thankful, and I want to give Priscilla a huge shout out. I know I shout out her every week, but she totally deserves it. And Pam Moore. They both attended the ANMP this week and came back with a ton of tips and tidbits for us. I'm sure their heads are about to explode. And you guys are going to be sharing, right?
Of course. And so did Jamie Jakubowski went, Marty Lopez, and my new rep, Bridget Gallagher. She went as well. Yes, we're actually going to be doing a recap on Thursday, and I will record it, and I will share it in both team pages.
Perfect. Yes. I also want to give a quick shout out to Kathy Sampson, who added to her team this week, and also Leslie Ann and Callie Castro, who had me on three-way calls. I've been pretty bored this week, guys, so you need to give me more three-way calls. Priscilla, do you want to do any shout outs, and then we'll go quickly into compliance?
Yeah, to be honest, I have not gone back through and seen who signed up and everything because I was away since Wednesday.
I always put you on the spot.
You do. But I do just want to give a big welcome to my new rep, Maureen. You knew I was going to do this to you. And she just signed up while I was in Dallas. And I have to tell you guys, when we tell you to do YouTube videos, there's a reason. Because Maureen found me on YouTube, okay? So get comfortable in front of the camera, start doing those videos because they really do work. So welcome to the team, Maureen.
Yay, welcome. That's awesome. Yeah, everything that we do really brings people to us. So I'm searching through the numbers to find Tony's number. He's 749. I just unmuted him. Okay, great. So Priscilla and I are like social media hawks because we love you guys. So we pay attention to what you post. We pay attention to everything that you share. And I know like Sherry's looking at everybody's posts. We just all help each other out. I mean, that's really what this is all about, is about making sure that we're protecting this amazing business that we have. So I had contacted Tony to ask some questions about compliance because there was so much. I mean, you post something sometimes on Wine Warriors or our team on Wine Boss, and you get like a million different answers. We don't really know the answers to a lot of different things, especially when it comes to compliance, because alcohol and all of that and everything's so new to us. So I thought the easiest and best way to answer some of the questions that you guys have and to kind of clear up some of the compliance issues that we have was to have Tony on our team call. And Tony Lanza is with Compliance at Direct Sellers, and we are very grateful to have him. We have an amazing compliance team now that really helps us and helps us to keep this business in a good spot where it's not going to get ruined by, you know, the FTC or get taken away from us. We have to protect this amazing opportunity. What was it Sherry always said? We have a golden egg, guys. The golden egg. Don't mess it up. So, Tony, are you there?
Yes, I am. How are you tonight?
I'm great. Thank you so much for being on the call. So I had shared some topics with you that Priscilla and I get a lot of questions about. I didn't know if you wanted to cover those or just kind of go off onto your own tangent, but you have the stage.
Well, I'm sure I'll go into my own tangent in some way, shape, or form. But you know, some of the questions and bullet points that you shared with me are very important. I've also talked to Priscilla and Sherry about these, and what we're trying to do is we're trying to protect you. This is an incredible experience for so many because there's really no tough sell here. Okay. What we're trying to do is we're trying to just make it an experience, right? We're trying to make people that are not with our company understand that we're having fun. We're get wine, get social. We're trying to utilize all our taglines that we already have as a company to get people excited about getting together in a DC social. Even wine tasting events may actually change their names to DC socials from here on in because of regulatory type scenarios. So when you talk about some of the things that you talk about, and we get a good feel for different things that are posted on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, you know, the verbiage is the key. Okay. We're in a big time microscope right now. Our growth is absolutely astronomical, but we're growing at a pace that we're comfortable with at this time. We'll probably be at anywhere from 75,000 to 100,000 reps by the end of this year. So what does that mean? That means compliance is going to be a big key for each and every one of us on this call and the teams that we have below us and above us. It's very, very important for you to understand. And the ladies on this call right now that are hosting this call understand that the reason why they police Facebook, Instagram, all types of social media or texting, whatever the case may be, is because they know that they have something that's a home run here and they want to protect it. Okay? It's really in the policies and procedures. If you read thoroughly through those policies and procedures, what you all are doing to police this and help us at the compliance department is exactly what you're supposed to be doing. So don't ever feel like you're tattling on anybody. You're just trying to help. And our compliance department is completely different than any other. A person will get a courtesy call first. If I feel or if we feel a notice needs to go with that courtesy call, we'll send notice so we have some backup information and some written documentation on it where the representative will actually reply to it. And then we go into a different type of protocol after that. If there's still some things that they're doing that they're not supposed to be. So let me get into a little bit about what we're looking for. We're not looking for any type of enticement. We don't necessarily need to see hundreds of dollars in a page with wine next to it, right? It's not necessary. Get wine, get social. Have fun with it. Wine sells itself, and sell the experience more than anything. So when we talk about that, and we talked about, Sherry and I have talked about this extensively as well. Giveaways and random drawings, raffles with wine, wine in a basket. We've talked about post and income claims, and we have some really good stuff when it comes to income claims now in our resource area of our back office, to where you understand the difference of saying, hey, I just bought this car due to direct sellers, compared to, hey, I had enough money saved thanks to direct sellers to put a down payment on this Mercedes. That's a big difference in saying I just bought this car because of my direct sellers opportunity, compared to, hey, I've actually saved enough money and, almost like you created a goal for yourself to put a down payment on this beautiful Mercedes. That is a completely different scenario and verbiage and talk when the regulators look at it. That's what you want, okay? You don't want to exploit, you don't want to entice, you don't want to be in a situation to where you're over-exaggerating. It's the typical networking scenario. If I ask somebody today, or if someone says to me, hey man, I've made $100,000 in this business already, I automatically know in my head that I knocked that down by 2 to 3/3 easily, okay? Because I know the way people operate. They want to entice you with the big picture, okay? And that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for the experience. All right. So it's very important to understand the differences. And if you have not seen what we put into the back office when it comes to income claims, take a good look at a couple sentences back there on that Word document and get a good feel for what we're looking for. I've listened to Priscilla talk on I believe it was on an audio tape one time, and she explained it very, very well. My husband and I live in an area, a high expensive area, and the cost of living is high there. With our direct sellers opportunity, we've been able to have a savings account. We've been able to save money and put money away toward our children's college funds. We've been able to actually lease the vehicle of our dreams, and so on and so forth. She's not giving any monetary value to that whatsoever. She's creating a dream for herself and for her team, right? And she's obtaining it. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you say, for instance, come in today and make 10K, join today and make 10K tomorrow, that's an exaggerated hope for somebody who may make only $200 to $300 to $500 to maybe $2,000 per year. The average person in direct sellers will make anywhere from $500 to $2,000 within the first year of being with us. The average. Now, this team that I'm talking to here is not average, okay, by far. Okay, there's some rock stars on this team, but we have to think about the people, okay, that are struggling through the scenario and are saying, well, how come I'm not making that money? And then the backlash happens, okay? So that's one of the biggest things I wanted to talk about today. Keep it simple, share the experience, learn to change your verbiage. No money. No, we don't need to be putting pictures on Facebook about, oh, look at this Benz I bought today. It's not necessary. It's wine. It's social. It's fun. Okay, and you women are killing it right now, absolutely killing it, and you're doing it in the way we want you to do it. So that's the most important part. So let me get to a couple of bullet points here, Jennifer, that you set to me. When you talk about wine as a giveaway, when you talk about raffles in a basket, when you talk about let's say, for instance, points contests that you have on Facebook for people posting different things. What that creates is it creates a little bit of a distraction when it comes to regulatory or regulations, let's put it that way. They're not compliant because if you include a giveaway or a wine as an incentive for someone to sign up for a direct sellers membership, even though you're not meaning it to be, it sounds like it, okay, that's a problem because we just went from a membership program to a potential distribution type company. Because what happens is the regulators will see it like this, and I have this written down. These types of contests are misunderstood by regulators. Therefore, we can no longer authorize any giveaways, incentives, or contests developed by our DCIRs to promote our direct sellers business. Because what happens is it's prohibiting, actually what it is the incentives or contests promote direct sellers outside of the current compensation structure or current compensation plan. You're creating a diversion and creating almost like another income for someone by having these raffles. Now, I don't necessarily agree with that, but that's what the regulatory or the regulatories will look at and say, this is going to be a red flag. Now I'm going to investigate this particular raffle or this particular point process. Why is wine being given away for free? When really in all reality, we should be just sharing it amongst friends at a social, at a private setting, okay? So if you can't get past that part, let's talk about it tonight or call me, Priscilla, Jennifer, Sherry, they could all tell you I am so happy to return phone calls and most of the time I'll actually answer my phone because I'm here to help. I'm not here to hurt. I'm absolutely here to help, okay? So when you look at these type of scenarios, even just giving a bottle of wine away for free can really make it look like we're trying to entice somebody into the business. Even though you're not, it's misunderstood by the regulators. So does that make any sense, Jennifer? Does that kind of getting through or give you a better picture of those bullet points now?
I liked how you said that it doesn't keep a level playing field either.
Right.
It makes
really
the
does.
playing field not so level. Sherry wanted to know, can we give away other things? Like if we did a basket for a wine lover that wasn't wine, is that okay? Like a wine glass?
Yeah, you know what I'm thinking? Yeah, a wine glass would be cool. You know, and you know, the best part about a raffle like that is you're not asking people, you know, when you hear raffle, hey, you know, how much is the raffle? It's $5 a piece. Well, you're not doing that. So that's another thing. We don't want to charge for a raffle. We just want to have everybody's business card in a box. And here's your gift for coming, you know, but it can't be any one of our wines. It can't be anything that can entice. And it has to be for everybody. It can't just be, say, for instance, so if Sherry's at the party and she wins, guess what? She wins, right? You can't necessarily just have it for the people that are coming. And this is what I was told, the people that are coming to maybe be a part of our membership program, because then it's not a level playing field, you see? Now we're enticing them to come in because they want that beautiful wine opener, or they want this beautiful the wine whisperer wine glass, or something to that effect. So we have to be really careful in our verbiage. And anytime that you do something like that, just shoot it over to me. I'll get it approved, or I'll change the verbiage for you or with you so that we make sure that it's compliant. There's just so many little words here and there, Jennifer, that just take it from perfect to not so perfect. You know, it's amazing how fast it can happen. And I've seen it happen too.
People are asking for your email, phone number for contact.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. It's Tony, Tony, at directsellers.com.
Tony, can I ask a question really quick?
Sure.
Are we allowed to do screenshots of like the contest winners in the back office, or is that a no-no?
You know, you got to be careful with that too, because you also, what you're doing is, when we post it as a company, it's a different story, right? Because it's actual general knowledge. The thing that we have to be careful of is, say for instance, if there's a dollar value attributed to it, sometimes that could be a problem, but at the same time, it's a contest, and it is actually put on our social media page as well. So I don't foresee it being a big problem if you, say, for instance, share it off of that page. I just don't feel comfortable about it coming from the back office. Because anytime you take a screenshot of the back office, it's a red flag.
Okay. But you can share from the
yeah, absolutely, 100%, 100%. No doubt about it. Because there's so many, you just have to be really careful. You just don't know what kind of hacker is out there. You don't know, there could be just a number that they can key into. It's happened to us before with other companies. You know, we had people holding up checks, not even understanding that the routing number was on the check. And guess what? That was a big, serious problem.
Right.
People were blowing up those pictures, and guess what they were doing? They were trying to cash checks. It was unbelievable. It's happened to multiple companies I've been involved in. So just be very careful. And if there's anything that you feel that's borderline, remember, especially an income claim, if it's borderline, I would say send it to me first, or make sure that you put at least a short version of the disclaimer on it all the time.
We have a bunch of questions coming in. So Sarah wanted to know earlier, when you're doing social media posts, can you use the full name Direct Sellers in a social media post? Because there's a lot going around that says we have to say DC.
You have to say DC, and you know what? I am policing that right now. I have a spreadsheet, and this is another thing I'm going to tell you guys right now, you ladies right now. You know all these team pages that everybody has that has Direct Sellers within the name of the team page?
Yeah.
Well, that's going to change soon too. That's going to change real soon. So just be aware that most of these people, if not all of them, will be getting a call from me this week, because I have a spreadsheet that's about 100 deep right now that I need to make phone calls on. So remember, the red logo is important. You cannot use the blue. And because our name is trademarked, okay, and we're working on this with Google Ads as well, so many people are using Direct Sellers, the full name in Google Ads, which cannot be done, and that's also in our policies and procedures. So I believe it's in section 9.1 and 2. If you go to look at the marketing and telemarketing and all that area there of what you can and can't do, that's always a good area to go back to and reestablish yourself with on the policies and procedures. So Direct Sellers, the name, you're absolutely right, cannot be used in that platform.
What
DC
about just
can.
as a post, not like the name of the group? Like I have direct sellers of Maryland. I need to change that to DC of Maryland group.
Yes.
What
You
about
are
like in a
eventually
post? Like what if I did a post and said, hey guys, I'm so excited I joined direct sellers. You can't say that. You have to say DC.
I wouldn't have a problem for that because there's nothing attached to other than the fact that you're excited that you just
Right.
joined our company. If you go into a tangent or if you create a page about it where you start, say for instance, getting ranks above someone else, then we're on an unlevel playing field again. That's not what it's supposed to be like. Just like all these problems we're having right now with Google ads. Why is one person on top of the Google ad war compared to all the other people that are trying to get that high rank and, you know, keep posting those ads and so on and so forth? I'm having a very, very difficult time with that. So yes, if
Can I just say, simple, Tony, not to interrupt you, but before I forget, that's actually really great that you're doing that, because I can't tell you how often in our last business that many of us come to direct sellers from, we didn't get seen and envisioned anywhere in Google Analytics because there were so many people who were piggybacking off of the trademark for that company. And it did not leave a good level playing field. You're right.
No, absolutely not. It does. It takes away. Let me tell you something. Think about this. You have all been in the business now for how long? You bring somebody in and you start teaching them Google ads. How frustrating is it going to be for them knowing that they can't even come close to the top? Now what? Now they're going to say, why am I even doing this? Right? That's not what we want. That's not what we want. We want it to be an even playing field. We want everybody to have the same opportunity that each and every one of us from that we've had since the beginning of our company. That's it. So, I mean, you got to remember, there was no compliance department up until about a couple months ago because we grew so fast. We couldn't believe we were at X amount of reps in such a short period of time. Now, we have to just take a deep breath as a department and say, okay, all these phone calls, let me tell you, they're not pretty, but 90% of them, I got to tell you, I've been all positive. So 90% out of 1,000 calls that I'm making are getting through. I'll take that 100 and work with them, right? But the 900, I know, are already teaching their teams what to do and what not to do. That's important. So that's huge for us, and that's why I thank you, the leaders on this call, for helping me do what we do best. There's nothing to be, you should be proud of the fact that you want this company to make it to the next level. Can you imagine where you all are going to be when UK opens up?
Yeah.
It's going to be lights out. So we have to make sure that we stay strong. We have to stay positive, and we have to stay together to keep this policed. There's just no way that we can do it without you guys.
Sorry, Tony, it's Priscilla again. Can you touch really quick on, I've got people who've asked me, well, can I just ship my wine to someone else? Like, I don't think we're allowed to do that, correct?
Well, you know what? I'm so glad you asked me that question, because we're getting a lot of feedback from Kevin Thompson, our lawyer right now, our MLM attorney, that we will be addressing probably within the next week or so. So I'll have a better and more definitive answer for you shortly on that. And I probably will maybe even have an answer for you tomorrow on that, Priscilla. I'm not sure, but we have to be very careful with that. And I'll tell you why. It goes right back to, are we a membership club or are we a distribution club? Because now I'm distributing wine that I bought for myself to my cousin out in New Jersey.
Right.
Now I just became a distributor, right? Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
That's the fine line that we have to be careful of. That's why I'm wondering, even in these states that we can't ship to at this point, if we're going to have to make an arrangement or a change for something for them not to be able to ship it somewhere else. You understand? Yes. I don't know that yet, but that could be something that could happen in the future. We just don't know it yet.
Okay.
Like I know we can't ship alcohol anyhow. It's like illegal for us.
Exactly. So if you think about it that way, right? If I live in Oklahoma, right, and I know it's a non-ship state, and I'm sending Priscilla my wine every month, isn't that distribution? If in a regulator's eyes, 100%.
It's illegal.
Right. So we really have to, that is one of the main keys and bullet points that we discussed before we went, before Donna Marie and the rest of the team went out to Dallas for the AMPs. And it was a big question. And it's something that we really have to tackle like right away. Big time. I mean, one of our number one rep lives in a state that's non-shippable.
Right.
So think about that.
Right. Yeah. Were you at AMP this weekend? Because I saw Kevin. I didn't get to meet you if you were there.
No, I wish I was. You know, I was hoping I would get to go. But you know what? John Gilbert and I, he's one of the founders, and we stayed back here because PJ went on Friday. We felt like, you know what? We started off, we stayed back here because I'm glad I did anyways, because I was able to answer a bunch of emails and stuff and things that came in. And if I was out there, there's no way I would have been able to even come close to having anything done. So we decided just to sit back. I'm sure I'll be there next year for sure.
Awesome.
We can go through direct sellers and ship wine or send it as a gift through direct sellers though, correct? Like if you wanted to, I've never done this, but if you wanted to gift your monthly shipment to someone and have it shipped through direct sellers, is that allowed or no?
That's another thing I'm looking into as well, because that is also considered distribution. And you know what?
Right.
That's also considered enticement. What if I'm gifting you, Jennifer, this awesome box of wine to entice you to come into my membership club?
Right.
Two big red flags, right? So that's another thing. The gifting part of this is more than likely going to suffer as well. Again, we have to go back, take a deep breath, and get a better understanding of what we're going to do, what we can and what we can't do, and what we're doing. And I think you all will really like this. We're coming up with a weekly or bi-weekly type of like couple compliance kind of scenario. We didn't want to call it the compliance advisory because advisory is always like, ooh, what do we, it's kind of a scary kind of thing. So we're trying to come up with different topics on how to do your DC socials, which used to be called wine tasting, the do's and don'ts of compliance. Putting together lists and almost like a cheat sheet for you all, so you know exactly what you need to do and what you do not need to do. Until we can put like a direct sellers university 101 together, this is the stuff that we're going to have to do from now on, until we can get to that level of, putting our new reps through disclaimers or, say for instance, through a university, just like they did back in the old days, because guess what? We do not want the regulators coming down on and breathing on our necks going, well, why did this gentleman say this or do this to get that person to come into this company? Well, you know what, Mr. Regulator? He answered the question right on his test.
Right.
Guess what? We're compliant, right? So we're going to be putting together some stuff. John Gilbert and I have been working together for 20 years. Johnny took me under his wing back in when long distance was deregulated back in the late 90s. And I've been with him on and off since. And I know exactly what he's looking for. I know exactly the way PJ operates. We all work as a team. We're honestly, God, we're almost like a family. I mean, we fight and kick and scratch just like a normal family would, but we love each other at the same time. And we always want to do what's best for the company. And I can guarantee you that that's what we're doing right now. We have a plethora of stuff on our plate right now that we're trying to get done, and we will get it done for you so that it makes it easier for you to do what you do best. Go out, have fun, share the experience, recruit, and get customers. That's it. And even it out as best as you can.
Thank you.
Can we talk about, everybody's asking, wasn't there going to be a gifting program or something coming out?
Well, we just talked about that a little bit just now about gifting. We have to be very careful how we gift, and I believe that gifting program will probably be scratched because gifting, if you understand this, gifting could be as a regulator, okay? Gifting could be what? Enticing for someone to join. You cannot entice someone to come into the visits. It's just like saying, hey, Mr. Tony Lanza, I got this great this membership club that I want you to be a part of, and I heard you're a rock star. I'll pay for you to get in.
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
That's the same thing, right?
Realtors aren't
You
going
see
to
what I'm
like
saying? So, yeah, so
that.
that's the same thing. So we have to be very careful about that. And that's why, and Sherry can attest to this. Sherry's asked me these questions before as well. What about raffles? What if we worded it this way? If you have a unique thing that you're trying to accomplish at a social event, send it to me. I'll see what I can do as far as getting it approved or at least, fine-tuning it for you so that you're not doing anything that you're not supposed to. That's what we're all about. And you guys all know, everybody on this call who's talked to me already, Priscilla, Jennifer, Sherry, I'll get it done. Okay? And if I can't, I'll make sure I'll just tweak it as best as I possibly can. Let's put it that way. Okay?
Sherry, you have something you want to say?
Yeah, I do. Hey, Tony, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Can you hear me good? I have a question. I was kind of told today that, the reason that we're kind of getting in trouble with some of these states, like now the newest one is Arkansas, is because people are doing like wine tastings and they're not, they're actually calling into the states and asking like what's the laws, and that's what is sending the red flags to these states. So would it be safer for us to advise our team just to do home wine tasting parties and not doing like these commercial wine tastings to where we're at all these multiple venues and having to call and talk to these, these states, and we're actually getting ourselves into trouble by calling into this state. So maybe if, we just told the whole company, I mean, I'll tell my team this if that's the case, but, if we like told the company just to stick with home wine tastings, maybe that might be a little safer as far as keeping our states open.
Right. Well, we definitely brought, some of our representatives definitely brought attention to themselves and to direct sellers by calling the state's ABC, and there's no question about that. But I do have to give the state of Arkansas some credit, okay, our reps there. Their social events were run to perfection. We actually had the ABC show up there 2 and 3 times. It was a registered event. They did everything by the book, and there was nothing that the ABC could say or do to shut it down. The problem is right now is we just don't have enough reps there to take it to a whole nother level to say, for instance, we're not saying we won't be there, but there's some software changes that would need to take place. There's some different packages that would have to also be available to just the state of Arkansas, and to redo our whole software to put that together right now is almost virtually impossible. Software is very difficult to deal with on a daily and yearly basis. So what we're doing is we're taking a little hiccup here, and the more and more people that complain to the state government that they want wine shipped to the state of Arkansas, in the state of Arkansas, the faster we can open back up there. I'm not saying, believe me when I tell you, we're not dead in the water there for good. It's only a matter of time before we open that state back up again. Exactly. So to answer your question, let me answer this question for you, okay, in a little bit better way. Don't have any one of our reps should never call the state. You have a compliance department. You have
I know. That's
like
why
myself,
I was like, why
Donna
are people
Marie.
calling the state?
Why are you calling the state and bringing attention to yourself where you're not doing anything wrong, but they're gonna try to talk you into doing something wrong. You understand? That's what they do, and that's what they're there for. That's their job, right? There's no need for it. So the second part of that question is, if you are going to have an event, okay, in a private, in a restaurant or a venue that actually serves alcohol, put it together first, send it into us so that we can go over it. But my recommendation would be to do it in a private setting, home, backyard, whatever the case may be. Keep your pores short. You're not there to get drunk. You're there to have a good time and talk about an absolutely incredible membership program, an experience to taste wine from all over the world. And that's what it's all about. I always tell everybody, think about our tagline: get in, get wine, get social. The triple G effect, right? That's the key. You're having fun.
Right. And Jen, I think you just talked about this with Leslie, Leslie's video, right? I got on at the end of your conversation with that, but she said like these wine tastings should be just like a club, like a gathering.
Right.
You shouldn't even be doing a business presentation. It
No.
should just be like a fun get together club type atmosphere and leave it at that. And I totally agree with her. I think
you know what I would be talking about? You know what I would be talking about to everyone if I was each and every one of you out there? What if I could show you a way that we can have fun and I can have wine shipped to your house for free every single month? That's all I would say. That's all I would say.
It's fun
what do you
club. Mean? Fun friendship.
Right.
Friendship club.
What do you mean? What do you mean free? What do you mean free wine? Well, I'm a member of this awesome club, and that's all I'm going to tell you. And you know what? If you're available Thursday night, I'd like you to come with me as my guest. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Taste some wine, have a good time. We'll walk out the door, send them to your website, and guess what? You're either getting a customer, or you're getting someone to join the club with you. That's
right.
it. And then you just keep duplicating. I think the biggest thing that I see on Facebook now, on any social media right now, is the reps are explaining that the wine is free if you work for it. That's the key. You can't just say, join now, your wine is free. But you have to make them understand that there's a way to get your wine to be free every month. And that's important. Okay, so it's just like the income claims. If you word it right, you're going to be compliant and you're going to captivate people. Just like Priscilla does. Priscilla has goals that her and her husband had for their family, for their children, for just laid it all out on the line. Okay, and now she's obtained those goals, and guess what? She's teaching other people to do the same thing. It's not like, hey, my goal is to make $100,000. That's not going to I'm going to look at you and go, you know what? I'm not working with you. Because it's not all about the money all the time. It's all about goals and setting yourself up in a lifestyle that you've wanted for years and years and years and years. No one is going away from drinking wine, right? This is exciting. It's a new trend. Okay? I don't see a book club doing something that we're doing. I see a wine club like us doing what we're doing, right? So it's very, very important. But if you guys continue to do what you're doing, you'll absolutely take it to a whole nother level. It'll be in a different stratosphere. And I love the way I was listening to each and every one of you talk when you got onto the conference call tonight. You know exactly what it is that needs to be done to be successful. And I like the fact that you're doing it for your entire team. You don't know how many people are dropping out of this company because they're getting no support. So you continue to keep doing what you're doing, and you will definitely take it to a whole nother level. I promise you that.
We ain't going nowhere. You'd have to drag me out of here kicking and screaming.
So, but I keep talking and talking. I know I'm repeating myself a little bit. I'm very redundant, but that's how passionate I am about what you're doing. And I think if we continue to work together, we'll get it we'll get it out to the field of what we want and what we do not want. And I'm telling you right now, if you're seeing stuff on Facebook and you're seeing pages with the direct seller's name in it, and you're seeing Google ads, and you're saying, why are these not disappearing? Believe me when I tell you, they will be disappearing soon.
Okay.
No one's getting a free pass. No one.
Thank you so much, Tony. I really appreciate it. One last thing, because I have a couple that are going crazy about the whole gifting thing. So if we had, say you're a realtor and you close on a house and you leave a bottle of wine in the house as a gift and it's direct seller's wine, is that allowed?
Ooh. I would think that would be okay, because you don't want to know something. It's not like you're leaving your website with them. In other words, it's not like you're enticing them to go to your website and see an opportunity. You're just leaving them a bottle of wine as a thank you.
Yeah,
but you have to be very careful there, because, if we get a phone call going, we just bought this house from this realtor and now she's trying to get me into this club. What the heck is this? We might have a problem. So again, just choose your words. I'm actually going to ask that question to corporate and get a good feel for that.
Yeah, because we were taught, you get your 4 bottles, one you drink, one you share. Like I've given a bottle to my best friend. She's come over before and I've handed her a bottle of wine. Like, is that, people are like, wait a minute, is that okay? Like, or what if I give one to my parents?
Right.
Or
Well, that's a different story. When you're talking about gifting, you're talking. Listen, if I have 8 bottles of wine here, okay, and I want to give a bottle to one of my friends, and I haven't mentioned a darn thing about the company, there's nothing wrong with that. So a realtor leaving a bottle behind and not pressing the envelope with that client, because I really think that would be a conflict of interest for the realtor, because that phone call that maybe goes to their boss that's in charge may not be a pleasant one. I just bought this house from Tony Lanza, and now he's trying to get me into this wine club. What's this all about? You know what I mean? So there's a fine line there. Leaving that behind as a thank you compared to gifting it to somebody to check out our membership club, not distribution club, because that's what it looks like when you gift, right? That's the difference.
Right.
A thank you and a gift to come in, understand? Come in is different.
No gifting as incentive.
That's it. Entice. We cannot entice. Period. And again, remember, if you have any other questions, if you come up with anything creative that you want approved, just email it to me. Call me. I have no problem. I mean, I was emailing people last night, literally at 12 midnight.
Michelle McClung is going to be emailing you. She's like, oh my God, this is not good. It changes everything.
No, it really doesn't. It does not change everything, and I'll tell you why. Where there's a will, there's a way. You have to, and again, ladies, you have to share the experience. This is an experience of a lifetime here, okay? Think about get wine, get social. Just do not entice. That's all I'm saying. You're already, if you're in a social event and you're already sipping wine and you're enjoying friends and family and their friends and their family, you already have opened the door for them to say, wow, where did you get this wine? And then that's your lead-in, right? But just don't be giving people a case of wine or 2 bottles here, and making it look like they owe you something. You understand? That's where people start to get. That's when the compliance department gets the phone calls. Why is this person continually giving me wine to come into this club? I don't want to hear that. Or why is this person offering to pay for me to get in?
Right.
Big no-no. And that's what let me tell you, I've had some dragouts recently on that too. Not going to happen. I know I'm not going to put up with it. I'm open to being the way I am with everybody, but you know what? I'm also going to put my foot down big time. And I've had to this week. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to have somebody jeopardize our company in that way.
Thank you. That's
right?
why Priscilla and Sherry and I are like really passionate about this. We want to make sure that we're compliant and that we're, getting back to the fun of it. And like you said, get wine, get
right.
social, and making sure that we're not screwing anything up for us or for the company itself as a whole. Oh, somebody asked, can we use that tagline, get in, get wine, get social? Are we allowed to use that tagline? Okay.
Of course. Yeah, that's on our website. Absolutely. That's our, I mean, it's not like you're using direct sellers to get somewhere. Get in, get wine, get social is what it's all about, right? So
yeah.
DC, get in, get wine, you could absolutely use that. And you know what I was thinking too? You think about this. Jennifer, Sherry, Priscilla, and several others on this call right now. There's probably, I would say, recognizing some names, there's probably, I recognize 6 or 7 names already that are in the top 50 earners of this company on this call, okay? So if you ladies can continue to do what you're doing the right way, think about how much farther ahead you will be than anybody else is doing it the wrong way. Just think about that. And there might even be more than 6 or 7 that I recognize. There might be more than on this call that are in the top 50.
It's all 50. It's all 50.
Then you know what? That's huge. But what I'm saying is, think about that. Think about, Jennifer, I've been nothing but impressed by the way you and Priscilla and even Sherry, every one of the people in your group that ever emails me or ever speaks with me or ever asks me questions, I can tell they're in their group by the way they handle themselves. And that, to me, is the ultimate handshake right there. Like, it's the ultimate experience. It's what's the word I'm looking for? The package that you're offering and the way you're teaching people is what we're looking for. And I actually said that to you in an email. I can tell that you all work together just by the way that you handle yourselves. And that's important. And that will continue to go down through every downline that you're a part of. And it's important to understand that that's the way you're going to succeed in this business.
I'm glad you pointed that out, because it's very, Sherry said we're a well-oiled machine. It's very enticing when you see other people doing giveaways and all these big incentives and stuff like that that's not compliant, to just run over and do the quick, easy, shiny thing. You know, when it's just going to ruin you in the end. So, you know, we want to do the right thing and do it the way that we're supposed to. And Sherry said, we'll do whatever you tell us to do to keep us safe.
I'm sure Sherry's got a funny little story she could tell you about in the email I sent her last week. So that I'll leave it at that.
We, at the ANMP this weekend, we had a whole segment with some of you attorneys up there telling us all what's good and what's not good. So we appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, and listen, keep it going. Keep doing what you're doing. We appreciate you guys as well. Without you, there's no direct sellers, right? Without us, there's no you. So that's why we have to continue working together to get us to the next level. And we will definitely do that.
Thank you so much for getting on the call. We really appreciate it. If anybody has any questions that Tony wasn't able to address tonight, you can email him at tony@directsellers.com, or you can just post it in the team page and we'll address it with him for you, or whatever you want to do. So thanks, guys. Thanks, Wine Warriors, for joining us tonight as well. Thanks, Tony, so much. You have a wonderful evening.
Good night.
Yes, you too. Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you.